This is a big year for UFAs, RFAs for the Red Wings. A lot of guys to sign. A lot of guys, maybe they shouldn't sign. It'll be a really fun, contract season to watch over the offseason. I don't know. I think we're gonna see some interesting things happen here. I think a lot of people are gonna go more so than usually happens for the Red Wings.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when, how long, and I don't know, man. It's if there was a rating system for people that we have left to sign on our side, it's going to be it's pretty brutal, honestly. I
Yeah,
mean, it's all right. You got one or two in there that are kind of diamonds in the rough, maybe, but for the most part, it's kind
cut
of
and dry.
it's cut and dry. I think.
All right, I'm Chris.
I'm Josh.
This is Wingscast. Yeah, so I guess let's just kind of go through it. The first UFA, Stahl, got us a second round pick coming back. He was a cap dump off the Rangers.
hmm
Do you sign him again? There's some people who think like, yeah, he's provided some good value. I
What's he at right now? Minimum veteran minimum.
oh no, he's in like the I don't know what I don't recall. I think he's like 3.7 million.
Okay, if he
Actually, I think it's
signs
higher
for
than that. I think it's higher than
if he
that. I think it's in
goes
the
for
fours.
1.5, 2,
1.5, 2. You would sign him like
I think I
you'd
would.
offer him
You'd
for
have
like
to
a
be a
year.
discount.
Oh yeah, you can't
Nobody's
give
gonna
him.
sign him, right?
Someone will give him for some depth if he wants to play. I think.
Carolina, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know who really
They
needs
don't
that
really
much
need anybody.
defensive depth. I wouldn't sign him. I'd let him walk. Right now you'll have Hronik, you'll have Sider.
Stetcher.
Supposedly, I'm assuming they're gonna protect Stetcher. Stetcher will be there. I'm assuming Seattle won't take DeKaiser, so you'll have one more year of DeKaiser, and then you've got if they take one of Chalowski or Lindstrom, maybe, but you'll have the other. Who else we got? I think that's it right now, actually, for defense. But I'm imagining he's going to try to get some more.
He's gonna
Um,
get picks or somewhere. Or
I think he's going to get some more of those kind of Stetcher Merrill deals to fill out. Hopefully, guys, he can flip at the deadline
probably
next year.
pick up Merrill again, unless Merrill signed up through next year, right? I think he's just a
No,
1 year.
Merrill was a 1 year deal. So that's why
Maybe
he
pick
went.
him back up,
You
right?
could maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Over Stall, absolutely,
Yeah, I probably would take Merrill over Stahl.
for sure.
Just younger, more chance of getting that more picks, right?
Right.
Uh, Darren Helm next. I've always loved Darren Helm. He's always been a battler for this team. Took us to the Cup Finals in '09 on that overtime goal, but I think it's just time. I think it's time.
Clear. We're in Cleary territory with him, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was fantastic last year, and it just went downhill for him. I think age and injuries and all those things have finally piled up, and he's just not effective.
But his speed's not effective anymore because of his age.
Right. Yeah, he
So
just doesn't have the speed anymore.
it's just
But
not there.
so I think that's it for Helm. Put him out to pasture. Had a great career. He's probably made a decent amount of money.
He'll probably get signed somewhere, maybe on a depth team.
Yeah, he might
Pittsburgh
just.
pops into mind with him.
Yeah, they like those kind of guys for the fourth line.
hmm
Filppula is next. I'm running away from Filppula. I'm hoping this last little spurt of offense that he's shown over the last 2-3 weeks is not factored into their decision making here, because he was an offensive wasteland before that, and I'm letting Phil go.
I agree. I mean, I think at a certain point during the season, you have to um, do a cutoff during the season because at the end of the season, guys are feeling the fire
Yeah,
a little bit. So you don't get an accurate, the accuracy is from the game season start to probably 3/4 of the season. Then you
okay.
cut off right
Just see
there.
how they kind of carry
Yeah.
through.
Walk. I think would walk
Uh,
for them too.
this is let's say Bernier. Bernier next. I would resign Bernier.
It's
Um,
been one of the I mean, goaltending surprisingly has been one of the brighter spots of the last half of this season. Like, I mean,
yeah,
Nashville's pretty much had our number all year, aside from them.
yeah. I mean, so is Chicago in some cases. But yeah, Bernier after coming back from the injury was a little off, but he's solidified. And Grace has been playing very well. I
Right.
We don't have anyone ready yet. If Bernier wants to say, I'd be fine keeping Bernier for
Absolutely. I think he will. I think that's pretty
May,
much just waiting for his signature at this point.
yeah, 2 year max. I wouldn't go anywhere beyond that, but I'd give him a year or two for sure.
Right.
Um, Bobby Ryan. This is kind of a some people really liked him. I think another injury. I don't know, man.
I think he would be one of those guys when we get to a point where we are competing. One of those guys, maybe you put on like a third or fourth line, maybe a power play two that can contribute.
I can agree that Bobby Ryan is probably a very like
Uh,
when people say you want to surround your kids with the right vets. I think Bobby Ryan is one of those right vets.
Yeah.
Um,
Been through it.
huge
Whatever it
goal
is.
scorer in the younger days. For Anaheim. really good player for a long time, and then kind of fell off the map with
Kind of got
some.
shafted with some off ice issues in
Yeah,
Ottawa.
had the off ice issues, more than one. Then he came here to kind of rebuild his career. Had the injury, which is unfortunate, and then yeah, I mean you're at where you're at now. I don't know if I don't know. I wouldn't hate if they re-signed him, but I think I'm also walking on from here. Um, let some other team kind of have that intangible. He was scoring some goals though too. I mean, he wasn't, but he was kind of streaky. But I don't know.
He
I
was
let him.
streaky. I think you give him one more year, maybe two tops.
I wouldn't give him two. I'd give him one if he's a
Well, he's
dead.
going to get moved at deadline
Well
anyway.
then, well not if he's 2 years. He might not. If he has just a down year, you're stuck with him. So if you want us to go year to year and keep whatever.
He had a down year this year.
If it weren't for the injury, I think he'd come back a little bit. But Glenn Denning, I believe will be re-signed. I hope not. I'd like to see Chase Pearson. I I just don't like that fourth line center kind of deal being
Well, we get to this
locked
thing.
up.
Guys just want, oh, he's good on faceoffs. Okay,
He's good at faceoffs. He's okay defensively.
he's okay defensively. He doesn't have a real 200-foot game that we always talk about.
He's actually
They talk
scored.
about.
I think he's got like 7 goals this year.
That's good, but I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think they are going to resign him. He's got that alternate captain thing going on, and they like him as a leader in the locker room. They're gonna because he did not go at the deadline. I fully believe they're gonna give him another year.
be interesting to see. That's a weird one. I think they'll probably send him 1 year tops, maybe.
1 year would be all I would give him to.
Yeah,
See if you can get him off on that deadline next year.
right.
Biega,
I think you have to. I think he's
depth,
been
just depth.
just depth.
Okay,
Uh,
I agree.
he's one of the better defensemen we've had over the past 2 years.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's better, but he shows a lot of heart. He plays hard. He kind of does what Lashoff used to be able to do, where you just be able to step in and play. But I like the guy. He's fun to watch.
He gets it out of the zone, which is something we've struggled with the last 3 years. So
Yeah, he's good for a dump in, that's for sure.
mhm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, as a depth guy, I don't think you're going to find a lot better defensemen, especially guys who are, willing to sign on for that role. Um, I think he does well in it, and I'd give him another year if he wanted it. I mean, he's going to be waived anyway, so it's not really a big deal.
Mhm.
But he's there if you need him. So yeah, that's fine. We got Gagne. I think Gagne. Yeah, Gagne's UFA.
I think they're gonna let him. He might retire.
I think he might find another contract somewhere. I wouldn't give it to him though.
It wouldn't be from here.
No,
Empty net sniper, basically. I think a lot of his.
he had the hat trick game. Remember? I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just another guy. Like you can't have 9 bottom 6 guys, right? I mean, you just can't. And we've been at that for a while now. You've already got Panik, you've got Nemesnikov, you've got Nielsen still out there for a year. I mean, there's 3 guys, right? And then Smith and Svechnikov are out of options. I'm guessing that Svechnikov will be gone. They'll protect Smith, and but he's got to be up at that point. Like you can't keep taxing him and all those things. He will be out of waiver options, so he'll have to be somewhere on the roster. And I can't believe they're going to healthy scratch him. So let's say Smith is a 4th bottom 6 guy.
Yeah, he replaces Gagne's spot.
Yeah, and then you've got down the center Larkin, Rasmussen, Veleno. Veleno probably plays 3rd line. There's another bottom 6. And because I fully believe Veleno is ready to play in the NHL full time.
Oh yeah, just from this sample size.
Yeah, I think he's good. The offense might come a little bit, hopefully more than it is right now. I think it will. And I mean, who else you got? You got, I mean, maybe Fabry because bottom 6 or
Well, he's a hybrid though. He can play wing.
yeah, he can. So he can play
yeah.
left wing on the because you got Verona, Larkin, Zadina, Burt, Nemesnikov. Maybe Nemesnikov's. I think I said Nemesnikov already though for that. But yeah, anyways, we've got enough bottom 6 talent that I just don't think you constantly need to sign more of these guys.
Go back to 12-6 next year.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'd love to see 12-6.
Yeah.
11-7 drives me crazy.
Our site might crash if that's the case. 'Cause that's all they talk about.
But the RFA side, most of the time you're going to sign all your RFAs, and I don't think we're not going to talk maybe about the obvious, like Burt. Of course, they're re-signing Burt. Like
They already told him he's coming back next year.
Yeah. So
Here's your answer.
there are some though that are interesting. Like you have Juice out there who hasn't played it in a long time.
That's cut and dry. He's gone. Right?
I don't think they're going to qualify Juice.
Svetch will be.
I think they're going to qualify Svetch, and then he's going to be gone.
I think you have to qualify him.
Yeah, I don't think you can't not.
I hate to see that kid go. Like that would hurt me more than Mantha, I think.
Yeah, you just pull for the kid, right? I mean, he's everything he does, like it just seems to be there. That is, for whatever reason, they don't really feel like he's a part of it. So,
I think that's a Blashill thing. Listen to that mic'd up thing he was doing
oh
just
yeah,
past. That was fantastic.
yeah,
Seems
it
like a
was.
good guy to be around.
Yeah,
And two, he's got the tangible stuff. He's got the shot. He's got the drive. And just on that mic'd up little clip they did, he goes straight to the net. He plays like a power forward, and that's what we need because we're not bringing up Smith, so we need somebody to do what Smith does, and just and score. He can score. And Nielsen even said, a veteran said he's got one of the best shots on the team. That was
yep.
a team with Mantha. So I think that's your answer right there. I probably protect Svetch over Smith, honestly,
I don't know.
because I don't think they're going to take Smith. I don't think they're going to want him.
I don't know. I think they might want him for that, like grinder-ish,
Wayne Simmons, you got Wayne Simmons out there if you want him. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
he's a grinder, and I mean does the exact same thing Smith does. And I mean, Tom Wilson's not up for contract. The big guys aren't up for contract, and I mean, Simmons is going 1 year at a time. Maybe he'll sign on, but I don't think they
Yeah,
take
but
Smith.
yeah, we'll see. I mean that'll well, obviously we'll get to see that
I
play
want to
out.
see Svetch play. I really think he's got a spot on the team. I think he's an X factor on the team. Honestly,
Okay. Brome, RFA. I think he's. I just don't think he's going to sign. I think he's going to go back to Sweden for more money.
yeah. The more I think about this one, the more we talked about it, I think he is too. I just when I look at the picture, I don't see him painted on it. So
Yeah, I mean,
agreed.
he couldn't stay up. He couldn't do anything. I think they gave him like 20, 22 games. I think he has 1 point, which was a goal, but still, you got to be able to produce better than that in the NHL. Svetch is giving you a lot more than that. Um, so yeah, I think he's gonna go back to Sweden for the money where he can perform, and he's not just playing in the AHL for like 65 grand a year or whatever it is. Um,
Jeez.
Chase Pearson's an interesting one. He is not expansion draft eligible, so they don't have to protect him. I absolutely think they re-sign him. I think there's a lot of upside in Chase Pearson. I like his game. Good skater. Uh,
Big.
bigger kid. Yeah, I think he's
Okay.
6'3" ish.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
big.
I don't know off the top of my head. Might be a little bit bigger than that. Had a good college career, and I like him. I like Chase Pearson. I think he could perform it. Maybe not at a Glendening level in the NHL yet, but I think when you talk about how a fourth line center should really be, utilized, that kind of revolving door of trying to find kids and, giving them reps and those things, I'd be giving it to Pearson. And
I don't know too much about him, honestly. To be completely honest, any big body that we have, I think we should keep. Based on what I've heard, his skill set fits his body. It's not like a Ras thing where he's like a baby Great Dane, got to fit into his, grow into himself.
yeah,
Seems like he's there, and I think he can be Glendening. He is a center, right?
yes,
Okay, so yeah, you got to have if you're gonna have depth anywhere on forward line, you better have depth on center.
right.
So,
I
and I
agree.
think just age wise compared and plus body size, yeah, I think you keep Pearson over
I
Glendening
think
at
he's
that point.
23 years old. If I
Yeah,
remember
so
right.
he's 3 years from his prime.
And this is an interesting one. Taro Hiroshi. I think you got to qualify him for depth. I don't see why you wouldn't. He's had a fantastic year in the AHL, and I said earlier when we had all the injuries, like I wish Hiroshi was going to be up because of the passing, the power play, all those things. He's very good at. He's like a poor man's Nyquist to me. That's who Hiroshi is.
Yeah, I mean a budget Nyquist. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I think so. I think it's a shame. I mean, I think you can loop him in with Svetch, and even a little bit of Ras up until the last part of the season. I mean, just not getting enough reps.
right. They
But
sent him down long before they sent down Brome. So
exactly. So
he's done a lot
he's
better.
got to get his reps. Like I said with Brome, him not being in the picture when I see the whole NHL thing, NHL Detroit Red Wings picture. Rossi, I do. So
Really?
for that depth,
Yeah, at
he's
depth.
going to be your taxi squad guy next year. If they might
If
do
they
away
if
with
they do
that,
that, yeah,
if they
I
do
think
that.
they will. If they go to a full normal season, they'll get rid of Taxi. But I like him. I mean, I think he's like a depth forward that can do real.
Well, he's proven himself too. So
He can put up some points. He can play. He's okay defensively. He's not a goal scorer really. But he can pass. He might be the best passer in the organization right now, outside of Zadina, maybe. In Raymond,
hmm,
I don't. I think he's a better passer
that's
than
probably going to
even.
set the site on fire too.
I think he's a better passer than Veleno. At this point, I mean, you gotta think he's a lot older though. He was a college UFA,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he played 4 years at Michigan State, and then came here. So he's older. So I mean, you take that for what it's worth. So his game is more developed. But right now, yeah, I think he's one of the better pass. He's a better passer than like guys like obviously like Larkin or something like that. So and you need those guys. I just I don't see him long term in the future. I don't know. Maybe he'll probably be one of those guys that can go to Europe and maybe make a good career for himself. But
Yeah,
good depth. I think you have to qualify him. Like you're just not going to let him walk.
uh, I, I honestly I don't know what the mind of Steve Eiserman is, obviously because he moved Mantha. But that being said, I mean you have to qualify him because if he goes elsewhere, he's probably gonna have a good career wherever he goes. I don't see him going overseas. I think he gets picked up
You really, I think he's a little too
somewhere.
small, and he's maybe not physical enough to play it. I don't know. He's one of those. He's like a tweener. He's like a really good AHL player that
Yeah,
just doesn't quite, Not that I'm saying he's the next Thomas Yurko, but he's in that mold of, he can play real well in the grindy AHL league, but not maybe up.
yeah, it's too big up. The grinders up here up in the show are way bigger and way nastier. You saw it on the
And you just have
Washington
way less
Rangers.
time, right? I
Exactly.
mean, like, look, Timo Pulkkinen could put up tons of goals in the AHL and just
Right.
couldn't. I think he's one of those guys. That's how I feel about Hirose. I think he has some elements of his game that are NHL, are good at an NHL level, like his passing, but I don't think the rest of his game's significantly better or
He
good
just
enough.
needs reps, I think. I think he just needs reps shooting the puck. Saw it with our younger guys. If he gets more opportunities to shoot the puck, I think he will. And if you add that offensive element, I think he can be a good third, fourth line
I don't know if anyone's
guy.
gonna give him the time to get those reps though.
Probably not. So
So, that's really it. The other UFA out there, of course, is the great Jeff Blashill.
yeah.
I think he's back. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep that night when he is.
hmm
But yeah, that's how I feel about that.
I mean, looking at this from an impartiality, you guys, everybody knows that watches our videos knows how much I dislike the guy. Aside from that, like we said on another video, I don't see this season and think to myself, this is the guy. You
Right.
know, I
I see too many inconsistencies, some really weird decision making on some stuff.
practices are weird. What are they doing in practice? And I think
I don't know.
when I see the videos of what they've taken, see it on Twitter or whatnot, just practice day, quote unquote, it's the same thing over and over again. Okay.
That's the process, man.
I guess. I mean, keep your feet going out. Those optional practices, I think he skates them. So who the hell wants to back skate an optional practice, right? So I don't know. Looking at it, I hope not. I hope there's some grand plan here with the coaching staff. I mean, even Bilesma.
Well, yeah, Billsman should be gone. There is no defending the power play.
No defending
None
whatsoever. There's no reason
whatsoever.
not to have a good power play with the guy. When we
E-
load up on a line, there is no reason why.
Even a mediocre power play helps this team drastically, and we are not even close to mediocre. We are bad.
Very bad. There's
He's had years.
probably
He's had years to execute. He never has. Should be gone.
this guy won a Stanley Cup right with Pittsburgh,
Yeah, Crosby and Malkin, man. Yeah, that's tough. Letang, come
right?
on.
So, but yeah, I agree. That
He
whole
got
coaching
kicked.
staff.
He had Eichel basically throw him out of Buffalo. Said, if he stays, I'm not. So, yeah. Um. Well, yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, I don't. I hope Blashill's gone. I think he's coming back.
All right, I think that's going to be a quick 15-minute meeting. I think he's back too, but hopefully Eiserman's like, hey man, here's your papers. Either sign this contract to become our scout, or you can pretty much go find a job elsewhere as an assistant coach for
Yeah, that's how it's gonna go.
Ottawa in the middle of nowhere.
All
I
right.
hope so.
Well,
Can only hope.
we'll see. Hopefully soon on Blashill.
Sunday's the end of the day. Monday, that conversation probably happens, right?
Yes, next Sunday's the what is it, the 16th is the end of the season. Officially it might be done before then, depending if they want Vancouver to play out all their needed games. Um
Look, locker room clean out day. We got to find out what that is because that's when the meetings usually happen. So we got
yeah,
to find
usually.
out when they come clean their stuff out. Once we find that out, we'll know when that conversation happens because it happened with Babcock, I believe, about the same time.
Yeah, but everyone knew Babcock was leaving,
Right.
thankfully, in retrospect. All right, I don't have anything else.
I'm good.
All right, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Check us out, wingscast.com.
Hockey all day, every day.
Yep, see you guys.
See ya.